Hello, students. Welcome back. Today we'll be looking at transport in plants. And the first thing we'll be looking at is xylem and phloem tissues. Xylem and phloem are tubes running through the plant, collected together in groups called vascular bundles. They play the role of transporting water and mineral ions and glucose and amino acids, respectively, from the point of production to point of need or point of storage. Xylem tissue contains long xylem vessels adapted for the rapid transport of water and dissolved mineral ions for their movement upwards the stem. Phloem tissue contains sieve tubes and companion cells. It is adapted for transport of the organic products of photosynthesis, e.g., sugars and amino acids. A quick question. The diagram above shows a cross section of part of a plant. Which part of the plant is shown? And what is the tissue below labeled H? Um, this this diagram is showing us a part of a root of a plant, and it is showing us the phloem. The xylem structure. The walls of the xylem are thickened with lignin, which is strong enough to prevent cells from collapsing inwards. The cells are empty, that is, there is no cytoplasm, which enables the free flow of water and mineral ions. End walls to the cells are removed. So cells join to form long tubes called xylem vessels. The phloem structure. In phloem tissues, the cytoplasm cells are thin, no nucleus or organelles, so sugar flow is not impeded. Another quick question. There's a diagram here showing us um, various structures. Then the question says the image shows a cross section of a part of a leaf. Which labeled structure is the xylem? That would be B. Water uptake in transport system in plants. Plants need to obtain raw materials from their environment. The roots of the plant are adapted to absorb both minerals and water from the soil. The root hair cells is mainly responsible for this. So here I have outlined the sequence by which movement of water through the plant occurs. Water is drawn up the xylem to replace water lost at the leaves. This upward flow of water is the transpiration stream. Water with any substances dissolved in it is forced to cross the membrane and cytoplasm of the cells. The cell wall has a waxy cuticle that is impermeable to water but allows other materials. Water crosses the living cells of the cortex via osmosis and suction through the freely permeable cellulose cell walls. Water enters root hair cells by osmosis from the thin film of water surrounding the particles of soil. This is because the soil water has a higher water potential than the cytoplasm of the root hair cell. So that water moves down a potential gradient. Continuation of water uptake. There's a quick question here. The diagram shows a cross section of a root, and three regions of the root are numbered. So, which regions contain cells through which water must pass to reach the xylem? That'll be the root hair and the cortex. Let's see. So, and there's a diagram here showing us the upward one-way flow of nutrients in xylem, because we know that xylem is responsible for transport of water and mineral ions, and then the end to end there are no walls. The cells are joined end to end, forming a xylem vessel, and then but in the phloem there is a two-way flow Water can flow both upward and downward. And end walls with perforations. There are end walls with perforations. Transpiration are factors that affect transpiration. Water is lost by evaporation and diffusion from the leaf surface. This water loss needs to happen because the stomata needs to open so so the leaf can take in carbon dioxide as a raw material for photosynthesis. The flow of water through the plant to replace water lost by evaporation from the leaf is called transpiration stream. Below are factors that affect transpiration: leaf structure, wind, temperature, humidity, light intensity. The thick waxy cuticle reduces evaporation from epidermis. Stomata may be sunk into pits which trap a pocket of humid air. Leaves may, may be needle shaped to reduce their surface area. So all these are the way is a leaf structure might affect transpiration. Wind moves humid air away from the leaf surface and increases transpiration. High temperatures increases the water holding capacity of the air and thereby increasing transpiration. Low humidity increases water potential gradient between leaf and atmosphere and increases transpiration. And so we also have light intensity. Causes the stomata to open for photosynthesis, which allows transpiration to occur. Leaf and water loss. To investigate the pathway of water through which water is lost from plants using cobalt chloride paper. Cobalt chloride paper is blue when dry and pink when wet. It is handled with forceps to avoid moisture from the fingers affecting its color. The paper is attached to the upper and lower surface of using microscope slides. The paper attached to the lower surface of the leaf turns pink, showing that water is lost mainly from the lower surface. Water evaporates from leaves and lowers the water potential in the leaf tissues. Water, this is, I'm still explaining leaf and water loss. So, water evaporates from leaves and lowers the potential in the leaf tissues, and lowers the water potential in the leaf tissues. Water moves from xylem to enter leaf tissues down water potential gradient. Water moves up the stem in the xylem as a column of water due to tension caused by water loss from the leaves and cohesion between water molecules. Water uptake occurs by osmosis from soil solution to the root cells. Stomata allows the uptake of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. When it opens, water evaporated from the spongy mesophyll to, can diffuse off the leaf. Wilting occurs if water loss exceeds water uptake. Cells become flaccid and plants are no longer supported. Translocation. Translocation is the movement of sucrose and amino acids in phloem from sources to sink. The meaning of sources here is that the parts of the plant that releases sucrose and amino acids, while sink is the part of the plant that uses or stores sucrose and amino acids. So we have a question here, A, B, C, D. A non-woody plant stem is placed in water containing a red dye. It is left for one day and then a section of the stem is examined using a microscope. Which tissue is stained red? That'll be the xylem. D. Which tissues are found in the vascular bundles? The phloem and xylem. Remember that these are past questions from Cambridge examination, IGCSE. In the leaf, water moves from the surface of the mesophyll cell, then out of the leaf into the atmosphere. What is the correct order of the process involved respectively? Be evaporation, diffusion. have a question, a diagram here. It says, which arrow shows the direction of diffusion of carbon on a sunny day in the image above? So this D. Another question. Which of the following is the main tissue for the movement of sucrose in a plant? Sucrose, sugar, since phloem is responsible for movement of sugar and amino acid and with the phloem. Which set of conditions would give the highest rate of transpiration and the greatest decrease in mass? That will be warm temperature and low humidity. Let's check. Correct. Correct. So that will be all for now. Remember to join us for another episode on our biology series, Cambridge curriculum. And check us out on www.edubbey.com for more materials and resources. Thank you for your attention.